Welcome everybody to the Sideline Speaks. Kevin Walker, Jason Collins. No Brittany Jones tonight. Our wonderful co-host Brittany could not be here tonight, but we got our man E. Scott filling in instead. E. Scott, man, thank you for joining us. What's going on
Appreciate you,
tonight,
brother. What's
man?
going on, brother?
Not a problem, man. Just here to represent, see what's going on tonight.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man, we're happy to finally get you on. K Walk and I have been talking about it for a long time, man. So it's gonna be fun tonight. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
For sure. For sure.
Man, I wanted to start talking about the Lakers and if they could make a serious run in the playoffs, but now LeBron looks like he's going to be out for a while. So I don't know how that whole thing's going to play out. So let me change it up a little bit and ask it this way. Scott, man, I'll start with you. With LeBron being hurt, do you think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs? I think they're the 12 seed right now. They're only a few games out of that play-in spot, but do you think the Lakers are even going to get in the playoffs?
Who'd you come to? Oh, E. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, because they were suspect even with LeBron being healthy, because as K Walker and I spoke about on our show on Wednesday, it's almost time for AD to have his annual season-ending injury. I mean, he's had a couple of injuries where he's out 3 or 4 weeks but he gets a season ender every time. And with only like 20 games left, we looking at my Gucci, it's right about that time. They're not going to get in the playoffs. It's over. They mortgaged the franchise to bring in Russell Westbrook. That didn't work. They got rid of him. Now they did get better at this year's trade deadline. I'll give them that. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think. And even if they do make the playoff, they don't have enough to be. They can't be Denver. They can't be Dallas. They can't be Phoenix. I don't even think they can be Sacramento. So yeah.
Right.
Hey, Walk, what say you, man? Can they get in?
Now, I don't see it happen. I have to agree with E on this one and say that, even with a healthy LeBron, they were going to have trouble getting into that play-in game because they're 2.5 games out. They're sitting at the 12th spot right now, and they have to play a lot of great basketball. And they didn't. And I know they made some trades, some key trades, bringing in D'Angelo Russell, bringing in Mamba, and those guys. For sure, it's a good pickup for them. I just don't think they have enough time to gel. Now, like AD has to be that guy now. LeBron is out, so it's going to be tough for them for sure. It was already a tough road to hoe with LeBron there, but I don't see it happening. At best, they'll get a play-in game, but that's even a stretch for them right now. They just hope that they could just tread water and hope that the injury is not as serious as they anticipated to be for LeBron.
Let's just do a hypothetical then. Let's just say they get in, K-Walk. Let's say LeBron is healthy. I mean, when you look at LeBron and as well as he's playing, AD, if like E says, if he doesn't get hurt, if he's on the floor, a healthy LeBron, a healthy AD, some of the roster changes that they made, could they, if they get in, K-Walk, can they make any noise, or do you think it's just a lost cause at this point?
Not a lot of noise, Shay. They'll make some rumblings here and there. I just don't see. In order for them to get in, everything that you just laid out has to fall into place. So if that's the case, then that means they're playing right. They're playing good basketball at the right time. So yeah. I think if they do that, they can make some noise. But now if they play that number 1 seed, that's going to be the difference as far as the matchup goes. As far as will it be Denver? Will it be Sacramento? Will it be the Suns who are getting KD tomorrow night against the Hornets? But I don't see it, Jay. Not against any of those teams that they're going to look like they're going to match up with in the beginning of the playoffs. So I'm going to say not too much noise, Jay. Maybe they'll steal a game, maybe 2 if they get in, but that'll be it.
Yeah, and the West is so tough, man. The West is so tough that even if they do get in, they're gonna have to play obviously one of the better teams right from the jump. So I just think it'd be really difficult for them to really do anything, even if they did find a way to get into the playoffs. All right, E. Scott, let me come back to you, man. All right, since we're all kind of writing the Lakers off here, let's talk about some of the teams that we do think could make some noise. We'll stay in the West, E. Obviously, a lot of really good basketball teams in the West. KD is on Phoenix now, so you never know with a talent like that. But if you had to pick two of your favorites, E, who are the two teams you like the most in the West right now?
Right now, I would say Phoenix, and I gotta give some credence to Golden State. I mean, I know they're not healthy right now, and they're not playing their best basketball, but I think Draymond will be back soon. Steph will be back. I can't count out the defending champs when they still have pretty much the core of that same team together, but they do have a few injuries, but not ending. So if I only had to pick two, I mean, I give an OLI to Denver because Jokic is, out of his mind, a 40-point
Seriously.
triple double. I mean, that's with no 3-pointers, that's insane. But if I had to pick two, I'm gonna go with Phoenix and Golden State.
Okay, K-Walk. I like that. I don't know if you know, but I'm a new Phoenix fan now. That is my new team now that KD is on the roster. So I love to hear the call for Phoenix.
Wow.
K-Walk, what do you say, man? Where are you going with this?
Yeah, I think the favorite for a lot of people and myself as well is the Phoenix Suns. I just think they added KD, and that's a perfect piece. He fits very well with that with that core, with Ayton, with Booker, and with and Chris Paul as well. He doesn't have to be that guy that he was counted on to be in Brooklyn, and we all know he shies away from that a lot. So he's in his comfort zone right now, if you will. So I like Phoenix for sure. As I stated, KD's back tomorrow night. I also like the Clippers, man. I do like the Clippers making some noise, for sure. I think when you look at those teams, when you look at Paul George and you look at Kawhi Leonard, and then you add Russ into the mix as well. And I think Russ is rejuvenated right now. So I think we're going to see a different Russ. So that means we're going to see a different Clippers team. So those are the two teams. I'm not saying that they're favored. Phoenix for sure. I'm giving as A likes to call it, OLI, outside looking in, to the Clippers. But I think you can't discount Golden State either, like E mentioned, because they still have those same guys. They're still in the mix, and once Steph gets back, then they'll start to rock and roll like they normally do around this time. So I'm going to go Suns. I'm going to go to Warriors with the Clippers looking on the outside. No disrespect to Denver, Sacramento, and all those other teams by any stretch, but those are the teams that I'm looking at coming out of the West.
Yeah, Sacramento feels like a fun team, but not a team that can win a championship to me. Okay, Walk, what about Denver, man? I mean, they have a great record. They've got a great player, a really good roster, but to me, I don't know, and I could be overlooking them, but they just don't feel like a team that can win a championship to me. What do you say about Denver?
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing I said a few weeks ago when we were talking about Denver. When I watched him play against the Miami Heat, and I wasn't impressed. Yeah, Jokic, he does his thing night in and night out. I mean, it's like East, to steal East terms. He's playing out of his mind right now, and he's just a walking triple double. But I don't see the pieces around him being good enough to make a deep run. They may be to win the first round, depending on their playing. Of course, they may make some noise in the second round. But as far as getting to the Western Conference Finals, that'll be at best, and I can't see them getting to the finals though.
Yeah. Go ahead, E.
So here's the problem in Denver. To echo what K-Walk said, he said it without saying it. Denver don't play on defense. I mean, think about it. They got a great front court with Jokic, Murray, and Aaron Gordon. That's it. The backcourt, who knows who they trotting out there night after night, and they don't play defense. And again, like I always tell K-Walk, I'm not saying they can't play defense because I don't know. But what I do know is they don't play defense. Now, whether or not they can, because people like to say that about different players. Oh, he can't play defense. Well, we don't know because they don't even try. And you're not going to beat a team like Golden State with no defense. I mean, because when you play Golden State, you got to have the boxing one mentality. Okay, Steph going to get his, but we shutting everybody else down. Or we going to shut Steph down and make everybody else beat us. Either one of those philosophies, but when you don't play any defense, you will get the doors blown off. You will get blown out the gym. I mean, Jokic can put up 60. It's going to be a losing effort because, again, they got a great front court, down below defense.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, especially in the playoffs. We know the game is different. We know the game slows down, and teams that don't play any defense,
Right.
that's when they're going to get exposed. But back to the Clippers, because K-Walk brought up the Clippers. Russell Westbrook, does he make them better? Does he make them worse? What are your thoughts on Westbrook joining the Clippers?
He makes him worse only because, and this is no slight against Russ, but Russ is the type of dude. Okay, you got PG-13 who played well in the playoffs last year. Got Kawhi that's coming back. He offensively he's kind of back. Defensively he still needs to get there, and you're looking at continuity. Russ, through no fault of his own, his style of basketball is not team basketball. It's Russ basketball. Like I said before, when he was in OKC, when your point guard is your leading rebounder, that tells me one of two things. Either you don't have anybody else to rebound or he's doing too much. And at the time, I think they had Steven Adams. I'm like, how is your point guard down on the block leading the team in rebounds? Is he stat padding? And I don't think he was. I just think that's the type of style of basketball that he plays. It didn't work. Let's look at Russ's resume for a second. The guys he's played with. He's played with KD, arguably top 5. He couldn't get anything done. Blew a 3-1 lead. He's played with LeBron. I'm top 5 in the league right now. Couldn't get it done. He's played with AD. Couldn't get it done. I mean, so his style of basketball, it just doesn't fit into team basketball. You can't win with Russ unless Russ is like your 3rd or 4th best player, which in LA he should have been, but you still can't win with him because he's doing too much. Russ is the type of guy you just bring in off the bench, like Vinny Microwave Johnson. You need some instant offense or you need rebounds, use some assists, you bring Russ out there. But you can't play Russ 35 to 38 minutes a night and think you're going to win. That's just not his game.
Yeah. I mean,
Great
definitely a chemistry problem in LA. It did not work out. K-Walk, now he's moved across the hall. I have a feeling, K-Walk, you might feel differently about this. Do you think Russ makes him better?
I do, Jay, because at first when you posed that question to me, I thought he was coming off the bench. So I think he will. I think he will, because everything that he said, I think he'll change his game a little bit. I know it's hard to change a game like that, but when you got guys who can put up points, I know he had that in across the hall and with the Lakers with AD and LeBron. But I think that he's starting to realize, he's starting to hear everything he just said, that my game doesn't fit in, doesn't match well with other teams or with other superstars. I think he'll adjust his game a little bit and will allow it to work. And I think they'll make some noise as long as he does that. Like he said, just because he doesn't do it doesn't mean he can't do it. So, the term there. So I think he will. I think he can do it. I think he will do it. And I think we'll see a different Clipper team for sure.
Okay.
So, yes, to answer your question.
Good stuff. Let's go to the East. I mean, the East the West feels a little bit wide open, but the East, it feels like we've got some clear favorites in the East. But K-Walk, who are your top 2 in the East if you only could pick 2 teams?
Yeah, I think you go with the teams that are presently in 1-2 respectively, and that's the Bucks and the Celtics. I just think that with the healthy Giannis, we thought he was going to be out for a while with that wrist injury, but he came back the next day against the Heat and destroyed them, and just showed why he's, in my opinion, is probably the best player in the game right now. But that team as a whole, they just play very well together. They don't miss a beat. They stay consistent with their wins for sure. Same thing with Boston as well. So those are the 2 teams that they're very comparable, and they look exactly the same as far as on defense and offense. I just give the nod to the Celtics. I mean, to the Bucks, because they have Giannis. Yeah. But those are the 2 teams I'm definitely looking at coming out of the East. Yeah,
is this a no-brainer? Boston and Milwaukee for you too?
Yes, no doubt. And outside looking in, I'm going to say Philly, only because Embiid is just something different. I mean, Embiid, he's Giannis, but he's not Giannis. By that I mean he can be just as good night in and night out, but Harden is not his Middleton. But Harden is in a contract year, and he tends to play better in contract years. So I wouldn't count Philly all the way out. But the top 2 are definitely going to be Boston and Milwaukee. Now, I did hear some rumblings around the trade deadline. They were looking to move Jaylen Brown. Then since they didn't, I don't know if he's disgruntled. I don't know how that's
Right.
set with the team. I mean, because like, if you're a player of Jaylen Brown's level and you didn't ask to be out and you heard they were shopping you, that's got to cause some friction. Not necessarily with Tatum, their other superstar, but that's got to cause some friction with management.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Good
for
point.
sure. For sure. And I'm glad you brought up Philly, E. I know even though Brittany's not here, I know she's watching. So we couldn't talk about the East without mentioning Philly. And I got to be careful about what I say. I don't want Britt to feel like we're coming for her Sixers. The thing I don't love about Philly, because I agree with you guys, it is Boston and Milwaukee. And maybe this is an out of touch take. I haven't watched a lot of Philly this year, but I just don't love the way James Harden plays basketball. I think he holds the ball too much. I think he dribbles too much. He gets them late in the shot clock sometimes, and then he'll pass the ball off and put somebody in a tough position. So I just don't think, like much like we talked about Russ not playing but winning basketball, I don't know that James Harden plays winning basketball. Like he puts up great numbers, points, assists, but can he be your point guard and win a championship? I don't. For me, the jury's still out on that. But K-Wall, what do you say about Philly? And then also tell us how you feel about your Miami Heat as we get closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Jay, as far as Philly. I just don't know what it is. I guess you have to point the finger at Harden because, like he said, Embiid is, he's on a different level. He plays MVP type basketball night in and night out, season in and season out, for sure. He should have won it last year, in my opinion, but that's a topic for another day. But yeah, I just don't know what it is. I watched him the other day against the Miami Heat, and I just don't know what it is because the Miami Heat, they don't play. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because Kevin Love's there and Cody Zeller. I don't know if they just haven't connected as of yet. The chemistry is off there, but that team, meaning the Sixers, should have blown out the Miami Heat that night. But Miami, Jimmy Butler, and those guys found a way to pull it out. But yeah, I just don't know what it is about Philly, man. You have a superstar in Embiid, you have the young kid Maxey as well, and then you got James Harden in the mix. And James Harden puts up great numbers. The only numbers that he doesn't put up are the W's when it counts. So. Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about them right now. I want to see what they're going to do on the stretch because they have to play consistent basketball. Now, as far as the Miami Heat, again, I kind of alluded to it. That Kevin Love trade. Oh, I don't even mean a trade. It was a pickup after the buyout. And Cody Zeller as well. It looks good. You're starting to see guys pick it up a little bit. Jimmy Butler, who had a great game the other night in Philly. Bam is doing his thing. Bam took it up a personal challenge against Embiid. He feels like he's the best defensive player in the league. And then you have the other guys, Tyler Hero as well. So these guys are built for games like this, for situations like this. They play great team ball. They play great team defense. But it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be. If Jimmy Butler has to step up night in and night out, man.
Yeah.
He cannot defer to anyone. He is the superstar on that team. He's a star on that team. I'm not going to call him a superstar. He's a star on that team, and he has to show up night in and night out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they were just a 3-pointer away from being in the championship last year. Yeah, right. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how that whole thing plays out. All right, let's stay on the NBA topic a little bit longer, guys. Let's play a round to take your pick. I'm going to give you two guys, and you just tell me which one you prefer. Let's do it like as they are now, like not historically, how great they've been over their career, but just right now, present day, who would you take? All right, E, I'm going to start with you. We got Ja Morant, the wannabe gangster, and we got Kyrie Irving. Who you taking, E, out of Ja and Kyrie?
That's rough because you said we're not gonna look all time. Because with Kyrie, what I've done with Kyrie Irving similar to what I've done with Kanye West. I'm able to separate art from artists. I mean, because Kyrie's a crazy person, but he's one hell of a basketball player. Kanye West is crazy, but he makes great music. But now, and then you got Ja Morant, who like you said, want to be. I gotta go Kyrie on this one. I mean, no slight to Ja, but it just right now, if I can only have one of them on my team, I'm gonna go with Kyrie because he's been there. He's won one before. He was pivotal in the one that they won. As a matter, you could say he's the reason they won. Literally,
yeah.
he made. So, but I know that's his story. But right now, I'm gonna go Kyrie.
Yeah, you know what? I think I agree with you, E. I think Kyrie, when he's on the floor playing basketball, his talent is undeniable. Whether you like him or not, like you can't deny how good of a basketball player he is. I agree. I think I would take Kyrie right now too. I think his game, I mean, Ja obviously is phenomenal, the highlights, the dunks, all that stuff. But I think Kyrie's game might be a little bit more complete, at least right now. So I'm going Kyrie as well. K Walk, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it unanimous for everything that you guys mentioned. And just to add on to that, yeah, I think he's in a place right now where he's starting to understand, or at least on the court, he's starting to understand, what he has to do. I mean, instead of just being that superstar, that Uncle Drew type player, if you will,
Yeah.
but just being, just being a team guy. And I think that he's going to be able to do that now, and he's going to take the challenge, and he's going to he hears the naysayers. He doesn't pay any attention to that, but I just like the way where he's at right now from a mental standpoint on the court, ladies and gentlemen. And Ja Morant, I just don't know what we're going to get tonight. I mean, phenomenal talent, we all know that, but just sometimes he can just feel himself just a little bit too much, and instead of just playing basketball. I know he's young. I know that's the generation now. That's how these young guys are now. But at the same time, you still got to respect the game at the end of the day. But I'm gonna take Kyrie with all that being said.
All right, so we're unanimous there. K Walk, I'll start with you on this one. So we'll go Luka, who a lot of people believe is a top 5 player in the NBA right now, and then LeBron James. So just right now, obviously, let's assume LeBron's healthy.
Yeah.
But right now, who you got? 38-year-old LeBron or Luka?
You know what? I'm going to take LeBron, man. I am going to take LeBron, even though he's 38. Not looking at the injury. I think LeBron still has a lot of gas in the tank, man. And he's one of the few guys that plays defense on defense night in and night out. Whether he's running someone down, blocking a shot, or just taking the best guy, when it counts as well. So I don't think he tapered off too much. I know he's 38. He's been in the league for 20 plus years. But Luka, man, Luka just doesn't play any defense for me. Luka just wants to be dribbling all day long in slow motion. Sometimes I fall asleep watching him dribble sometimes. But I'm gonna take LeBron. I just think LeBron he's still that guy. He's still feisty. He still wants to win. Not saying that Luka doesn't, but a night in and night out, he accepts that challenge.
Yeah, for everything you just said about Luka at the end, that's why I'm going LeBron as well. Kind of similar to what I said about James Harden. I don't love the way Luka plays basketball. I know he puts up great numbers. I know he's a great player. I'm not taking that away from him, but the dribbling, the holding the ball late into the shot clock, I just don't know that you're going to win like that when it really counts. So I'm going LeBron as well. Would say you, E? You taking Luka or LeBron?
I'm going to go LeBron for the reasons you guys said, and to add on to it. Okay, any given night when LeBron is healthy, he can guard 1 through 5. You can tell LeBron, hey, you got Steph tonight, or you got Ja tonight. Whoever the best player is on the other team, you can assign LeBron to him. Also, LeBron, one thing he has that I haven't seen from Luka, LeBron has the ability to take over a game. If you say they call a timeout and tell LeBron, hey man, look, because I know Ty Lue did it when that championship they won in Cleveland. Hey LeBron, look, this game is close. I need you to go be LeBron and win this game. He can do that. Yeah. I don't know if you can count on Luka to do that. Now, Luka's going to give you, 40, 50 points, but he's not getting his team involved. He holds, like you said, Jay, he holds the ball way too long, and he's not really a good facilitator, and then he don't play any defense. So, yeah, for those reasons, I'm going to go LeBron over Luka.
I don't want to get us too far off of this because we got a couple more to do, but E, how do you think LeBron's Laker career is going to be remembered, right? Yeah, he's got the bubble championship. However you feel about that, it's a championship. We can't take it away from him. But the other years they didn't make the playoffs. There's a good chance they're not going to make the playoffs again this year. Like if he just wins that bubble championship and then doesn't really do anything else, how do you think Laker fans will remember him?
Epic fail. Because you got so many other Laker greats ahead of him. Shaq, Kobe, Magic, the captain, Worthy. I mean, the list goes on. Byron Scott. The list goes on and on. These guys were Laker greats.
Yeah.
LeBron is a great. Okay, these guys were great Lakers. LeBron just a Laker that's great, and there's a difference there. I
Yeah.
mean, he's great, but he's not a great Laker. So
Yeah.
if he doesn't win a championship outside of the bubble, I think it was a failure. He will be remembered more so as a Cleveland Cap, no, as a Miami Heat, and
Mhm.
then Cleveland because he did bring one to Cleveland. But yeah, his he if you got to go into the Hall of Fame with a bus like they do in other sports, he should go in as a Cavalier, not a Laker. And the
Yeah.
only reason I say the Cavalier is because he led them to victory, that championship he won there. You got
Yeah.
to give him sole credit for that one. Him and Kyrie, he had a super team in Miami. Not to take anything away from him because I'm here for the super team. But yeah, his Lakers. If he doesn't win another one in LA, it was a failure.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think any, especially because he's still playing really well. It's not like this guy's like playing on one leg or anything like that. And you're right, when you start comparing him to Kareem and Magic and Kobe and Shaq, it's just not going to stack up. But K Walk, what say you? How do you think Laker fans will remember LeBron if he doesn't do anything else in LA, like win another championship or two?
Yeah, I think he made a valid title for him, epic fail. I think that's a perfect way to describe it. If he doesn't win another one, I mean, because look at everything they brought the super team in, and they brought AD in there, they brought Russ in there. We see that didn't work. Not only did they not win a championship, or they barely get their. They're just happy to get into a playoff game or play-in game, I should say,
Yeah.
and of course a playoff game. Anytime that's your main goal, then that's to use A's term, that's an epic fail. And you guys mentioned all those greats, Kareem, Magic. I mean, Worthy. The list goes on and on. And you can't put him in the top of the. And I don't know if you could put him in top. You might be able to put him in top 10. I mean, I don't have the list in front of me of all the guys, but the more and more I think about it, the farther he falls down on that list as far as the Laker greats, if you will. So I'm going to say, yeah, to use East term, I say it's a huge letdown for sure. With LeBron as a Laker. Now going into Willie, as far as touching on at the Hall of Fame a little bit, I have to agree with you. I think he has to go in as a Cav.
Yeah.
He was drafted by them, then he ultimately went back and gave him a championship. Even though he played for the Heat and the Lakers longer than he played for the Cavs, but he still got him that championship. But
Yeah. Yeah, that
definitely
that
definitely rough.
championship in Cleveland just feels a little bit different
Yeah.
from some of the other ones. All right, two more guys. Back to you, man. Joel Embiid and the Joker, Nikola Jokic, however you pronounce his last name. Who you taking, man? Embiid or the Joker?
I'm gonna go Embiid now. Like K Walk mentioned earlier, Joel Embiid should have been MVP last year. But I was thinking about this, and I think you got to give the MVP to the Joker simply because he's more important to his team. That well, I won't say more important, but he's the simplest way to put it, the MVP is not always the best player.
All
Like you
right.
can be the best player in the league, but not the most valuable. So
Yeah.
Joker is very valuable to his team. But if I gotta pick a basketball player between those two, give me Embiid 6 days a week and twice on Sundays. To me, that was not even close.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think I would take Embiid too. The only thing that bothers me a little bit about Embiid is I don't feel like he does it every single night. Like
Right.
that time they maybe a few weeks ago when they played Denver and Embiid just went out and just absolutely dominated. I think he had like 40 points. I feel like he could do that every night if he really wanted to. So the only thing that bothers me about Embiid is he just takes nights off. He's happy to just get you 25 when I feel like he could get you 35. But I'm with you, E. I'm taking Embiid here. But K Walk, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going to make it unanimous. I think Embiid is that guy for the things that I mentioned earlier when I was talking about him being the MVP of the league last year, in my opinion. And I think he does it on both ends of the court as well. He can arguably be put in the conversation for defensive player of the year as well. Again, he's like you mentioned, he's a little inconsistent with his play. He can do that every single game. I don't know if that's a part of this new load management or what have you, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I'll take Embiid. I'll take Embiid every time this question is posed over Jokic. I know Jokic he's playing out of his mind. For sure, looks like he may win another MVP, but I'm going to take Embiid.
All right, last one. It's a three-man this time. I got Durant, Tatum, and Giannis. Right now, who would you take? Okay, Walk, I'm going to start with you here.
You said Giannis and who? I'm sorry, who was the second one?
KD, Tatum,
KD.
And Giannis.
Oh, three. Okay, I didn't hear the second one. Okay. I'm going to take Giannis, man. I think Giannis, to me, I really think wholeheartedly he's the best player in the NBA. He's the most difficult player to guard in the entire game. Nothing to take away from Tatum and KD. We know what they're capable of doing. But Giannis, when he's healthy and he's going downhill, there's absolutely no one in the league can stop him. Not Embiid, not Bam, not Kate. Well, KD don't play defense. Not LeBron. So yeah, this was kind of an easy one for me, Jay. So I'm going to take Giannis.
Okay. I'm taking KD. And the
surprise.
the only reason why, man, is just from a basketball skill standpoint, I don't think it's close, like KD versus Giannis. I think Tatum's skill level is probably closer to KD than a Giannis. And I don't know. I've been saying it all night. And Giannis falls in this category too. I don't love the way Giannis plays basketball for a different reason. He's just all downhill, take advantage of the whistle, take advantage of the style of NBA play now. And it works. I don't disagree with anything you said, K-Walk. But just for the aesthetic and watching basketball, I prefer to watch KD style basketball any day of the week. And I think when the money's on the line, I still would want the ball in KD's hands over Giannis. But man, what say you? Straighten this thing out for us.
I'm going to go Giannis for the simple fact, okay, if you go to KD and say, KD, I need 35 and 10 tonight, he can go get them. Make no mistake about it. But the difference is with Giannis, if you go to Giannis and say, I need a W tonight, Giannis going to get it because he's going to, like K-Walk said, he's going to give it to you on both ends. Offense, defense, he's going to get you a victory. KD might get you that 35 and 10, but you might come up short on the scoreboard. So, I mean, and Tatum, I just don't think Tatum is to the level of these guys yet. No disrespect to Tatum, he's good, but I don't think you can go to him and say, I need a W tonight. He can get it. I'm not even sure if he can get you 25 and 10 on a night that you really need him. I just don't know. But Giannis, and like for the reasons you said, Jay, that downhill basketball, he's going to get you that W. Yeah. I mean, his stats might not be pretty, but he going to lie. He going to D his guy up, and he going to do what it takes to win.
Yeah. It's hard to disagree with that, and you can't argue with the results that Giannis has produced for sure. All right, good stuff, guys. Let's go ahead and grab a break here, and then when we come back, we're gonna do the 49ers Mount Rushmore with K-Walk, and then E. Scott's going to give us his Saints Mount Rushmore, and then I got a fun little segment that we're going to do after that. So you guys are listening to the Sideline Speaks with Jason Collins, Kevin Walker, and special guest E. Scott tonight, and we'll be right back.
CampLyman.com is an opportunity for my big boys to come get some work. Let's put it all together. We built from the ground up. You know, our cliche is it all starts up front. Once again, start, stance, hand placement, hand separation, get-offs, counter moves, a little bit of everything. Polish up those skills before your middle school or high school season began. Just come work on your craft. Once again, CampLyman.com.
All right, welcome back to the Sideline Speaks. Jason Collins, Kevin Walker, special guest E. Scott tonight. Let's talk some football, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching the show, you know K-Walk is a diehard San Francisco 49ers fan. And our guest, E. Scott, he lives and dies with the New Orleans Saints. So we're going to have these guys give us their Mount Rushmore tonight. K-Walk, I think I'm going to start with you, man. 49ers, a lot of great history, a lot of great players. It's probably pretty hard for you to narrow it down to just 4. But who's your Mount Rushmore, man? 49ers Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This was a tough one, Jay. There were a lot to choose from, but I was able to narrow it down. I'm gonna start with my man Ronnie Lott. You see the jersey right here that my man East Sky got for me. Appreciate you again for that, brother. Appreciate that. So yeah, I went with Ronnie. Hit a lot. So yeah, that guy right there. Anytime you can you cut your pinky off to play a football game, you know you the real deal. Second guy I went with was Dwight Clark. I went with the late great Dwight Clark. We all know what he did and I think game against the Cowboys back in the day, the catch, as everyone knows it as. So I went with him. He passed away recently, but Dwight Clark is definitely on there. And the two, I think these were the easiest two for me to pick. But I'm going with Joe Montana, 4 Super Bowls, great comeback win against the Bengals. A lot of great, his stats Hall of Famer. Joe Montana, he's arguably the best quarterback that ever played a game. Some say it's Brady. Some say it's Joe Montana, but I give it to Brady though. But nonetheless, he's in that conversation. And number one, I think he's the greatest football player of all time, and that's Jerry Lee Rice. I just think, that he's as smooth as he was. He holds every single receiving record there is possibly out there. There's a lot of guys that are good right now that's still playing catch up. So yeah, those are my 4. Right? I got Jerry Lee Rice, I got Joe Montana, Dwight Clark, and Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, that's a good 4, man. That's a really good 4. Okay, Walker, was there anybody on the outside looking in that you thought about breaking into that 4? Maybe Steve Young or Roger Craig? Was there anybody right on the outside looking in?
Roger Craig, definitely. Steve Young, I love Steve Young, but Steve Young was he had that one Super Bowl. He had that great team around him. Yeah. Had he won more, I would have, had he won at least one more, I would have put him up there. But Steve Young he's probably the second greatest, obviously he's the second greatest quarterback to play for the San Francisco 49ers, but I just don't think he was good enough, in my opinion, to be on the San Francisco 49ers Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. All right, E, let's kick it over to you, man. Saints as well. I was looking at some of the Saints greats, man. There's some good stuff to choose from there as well. But who you got, man? Okay. Who's your 4?
Okay, so if I had to narrow it down to 4, I got a couple OLIs, but I'll give you my 4 first. For years, until recent years, we only had 2 Hall of Famers. That's Willie Roaf and Ricky Jackson. So I had to put both of those on my Mount Rushmore. Number 57, Ricky Jackson, and then also number 77, Willie Roaf. Third was probably the hardest for me because we both know who number 1 is. Third, I mean, I like I said, I got a couple of lives, but I went with Marcus Colston. I mean, he was not a Hall of Fame. He's not going to be a Hall of Famer, but he was great in the Saints offense. He was integral to the Super Bowl we won, the Super Bowl run that we went on. He was Drew's favorite target. So I had to put him on the Mount Rushmore. And then, of course, George Washington out front is going to be Drew Brees, even though we don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. I couldn't deny his place on the Mount Rushmore. I mean, he's probably the most popular Saint. Well, the most popular Saint ever is Archie Manning. But Archie Manning, if you looked at the numbers, Jay, his numbers were terrible. Yeah. I mean, he was god awful. Archie didn't even make OLI, and he's probably the most famous Saint ever. Yeah. But yeah, so I got George Washington, I got Drew Brees, I got Marcus Colston, I got Ricky Jackson, and I got Willie Roaf. On the outside looking in, I had Sam Mills, who recently made the Hall of Fame from the Dome Patrol. And then I also had Morton Anderson. Yeah. You remember the kicker, Morton Anderson? Yeah. He kicked. Like I know he kicked all around the league, but yeah, he kicked some good for the Saints. So I put him OLI. Also OLI, not so much for his play, but for what he meant to the city. Steve Gleason, he has ALS right now, Lou Gehrig's disease, but he blocked the punt after Katrina when the Dome reopened, and we were playing Atlanta on a Monday night. In Champion Square, right next to the Dome, there's actually a bronze statue of that play. You see him stretched out, blocking the punt. And so I had to give him some honorable mention, just what he means to the city of New Orleans and what he meant for the Saints. So yeah, those are my guys.
Yeah, no, that's a good list. That's a great list. So good stuff there, guys. All right. This is a segment I didn't tell you guys about. I kind of wanted to spring it on. You didn't want you to think too much about it. But ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever listened to Sports Talk with K Walk and E. Scott, they do a segment, Eric's Entertainment segment. And it's a great segment. I've been on there several times. Haven't won a whole lot being on there, but it's a great segment. But tonight I'm turning the tables. E. Scott's going to be on the hot seat tonight. I got a segment set up, an Eric's Entertainment segment. I got 17 questions on the board. It's going to be sports nicknames. So I'm going to give you a nickname. You're going to name the player. Okay. I think most of these guys are probably fairly easy. There might be a couple in there that you guys don't know, but it's nothing too difficult. So
gotcha.
I mean, you miss one or two, you might be out of this thing. So E. Scott and K-Walk going head to head tonight. Sports nicknames. E. Scott, you're a guest, so I'll let you go first. There's 17 on the board. What number you want?
Number 13, baby.
All right, we're going to start with number 13. All right, the nickname is Night Train. Night Train.
Ooh.
Night Train Lane. What is his first name? Night Train Lane. Is it John? Night Train Lane?
Is that your final answer?
Oh, I can't think of his first name. Yes, final answer.
That is incorrect. It is Dick Lane.
Whoa,
Dick
okay.
Lane.
Dick Night Train Lane. Okay.
No points there for E. Scott. K-Walk, what number you want?
All right, give me number 1.
All right, number 1. K-Walk, I think you're going to know this. The Big Hurt. The Big Hurt.
Yeah, that's Frank Thomas. Final answer.
Yes, that is correct. Frank Thomas. 1 point
Jay,
for K-Walk.
I feel like you. I didn't know mine, but I knew that one.
That's right. Yeah, I want you to feel a little bit of that pressure, E. Scott, that we're always feeling during this.
Right?
All right, E. Scott, give me a number.
Number 7.
Number 7. Man, you picked a couple tough ones. The Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman.
I've heard it, but
why do I know that? Flying Dutchman.
Flying Dutchman.
I don't know that one.
That's a tough one. K-Walk, I didn't give you a chance to steal the first time. I forgot, but I'll give you a chance to steal this one. The Flying Dutchman.
I don't know, Jay. I'm gonna guess. I know it's a basketball player. I just can't think of who the dude is. Rick's? No, that was Rick's. Dirk Nowitzki. I don't know. Final answer.
No, that's incorrect. It's Honus Wagner.
Honus
Wagner.
Baseball.
Honus Wagner, the Flying Dutchman.
Fun fact: most expensive baseball card out there.
Yeah,
a mint condition Honus Wagner.
All right, K-Walk, back to you.
All right, give me number 8.
Number 8. The Big Unit. The Big Unit.
That's Randy Johnson. Final answer.
All right.
I'm smelling a setup.
I had no idea this was coming.
That's correct. All right, E. Scott, give me a good number
3,
man. Let's get you on the board. All right.
Let me get number 3.
Number 3. The Nigerian Nightmare.
Ooh.
Christian Okoye.
Christian Okoye. All right, good. E. Scott's on the board. K-Walk, back to you.
All right, let me see what we got here. Number 11.
Number 11, the Great One. The Great One.
That's Wayne Gretzky.
That is Wayne Gretzky. That is correct. All right, back to you, E.
Number 17.
The Say Hey Kid.
Willie Mays.
Hey Kid.
I knew you get that.
Willie Mays. All right, nice. So far it's 3 for K-Walk, 2 for E. Back to you, K-Walk.
Give me number 2.
Number 2. This might get you. K-Walk. The nickname is Butterbean. Butterbean.
Oh, that's the boxer. I don't know his real name though. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Butterbean Johnson, Rick Johnson. Final answer. I don't know. I don't know.
That is incorrect. E, can you steal this one? Butterbean.
Alexa, what's Butterbean's real name? Nah, me and Alexa don't know.
All right. It's Eric Esch. Eric
Wow.
Esch.
Nah,
No,
I never would have got that. And I couldn't hear what Alexa said because K-Rock was laughing. So I couldn't hear her. She did say something, but I don't know what it was.
All right, E, back to you. Chance to tie it up here.
Give me 16.
All right, 16.
That's
Dang,
going,
E,
isn't it?
you picking some
Oh,
tough
oh, no,
ones,
it's-
man.
it's-
You might know this, though. The Galloping Ghost. The Galloping Ghost.
Whitey Ford.
That is incorrect. Walk, who's the Galloping Ghost?
I should know this, but I don't. The Galloping Ghost. I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna say, I don't know. Who'd you say? Whitey Ford? I'm just gonna say Mickey Mantle. Finance. I don't.
It's Red Grange. Red
Yeah, I
Grange.
didn't know that.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I never would have got that.
I don't know.
Nah,
I'm
neither.
not sure who that is.
Yeah.
All right, Walk, back to you.
All right, give me number 4.
All right, you picked a good one here. The Chief. The Chief.
Oh, that's Robert Parrish.
Robert
Final
Parrish.
answer.
Yes, that's correct. All right, E, back to you.
Is 16 available?
No,
No,
we got
no,
5,
no.
6, 9, 10, 12.
Let me
14,
get 5.
All right, this is a good one. In fact, you mentioned this guy earlier today when you were talking, E. The Microwave.
Vinny Microwave Johnson.
There you go. There you go. All right, Walk, kicking it back to you.
Give me number 6.
Man, this is Walk. You picked some easy ones, man. Mr. October.
That's Reggie Jackson. Final answer.
Reggie Jackson. All right, 5-3. Walk's up by 2. E, you need every single one of these. Give me a number. We got 9, 10, 12, 14, and 15.
Let me get 15.
15. Good call here. The Minister of Defense. The Minister of Defense.
Big dude played for Philly. What is his name? Was the all-time sacks leader before Strahan. Reggie.
Yeah.
Reggie White.
There
Reggie
you
White.
go. Reggie White. All right, nice. Walk, where are we going?
Let's go 9 here.
Good pick, Walk. The Glove.
Oh, Gary Payton. Final answer.
I had no problems with the glove.
Mike is still laughing at that iPad right now.
Mike handed the iPad back quickly. I had no problems with the glove.
All right, we got 10, 12, and 14 left on the board.
Let me get 12.
All right, 12. The Golden Bear. The Golden Bear.
Jack Nicklaus.
All right. Walk, you got 10 or 14?
Give me 10.
The Black Widow. The Black Widow.
Oh, I have no idea, bro. The Black Widow. I have no idea, bro. I'm just going to say Jack Dempsey. Final answer.
That is incorrect. It's 6-5. Chance to steal this right here if you can get the Black Widow.
I have no idea. I never even heard the Black Widow. Go ahead.
It's a female pool player. Jeanette
Oh, hell
Lee.
no, Jay. I
Jeanette
don't know who that is.
Y'all don't know Jeanette Lee? I actually knew that one. If I was playing, I would have got that one.
Wow.
Jeanette Lee.
I was nowhere near the sport.
At least I can tie it up.
Yeah, you can tie it up here. It's 6-5. So you know what? I might if it's a tie, I might find one more to see if we can break the tie. But last one is number 14, the Brown Bomber. The Brown Bomber.
Jim Brown.
Sorry, that is incorrect. Walk, do you know the Brown Bomber?
The Brown
Bomber.
I was gonna say Bobby Brown. The Brown Bomber. The Brown Bomber. Why do I not know that? I don't know that. I don't know. Final answer.
Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis is
Joe
the Brown
Lewis.
Bomber.
Okay.
Joe Lewis is the Brown
Come
Bomber.
on, Kevin. You knew that.
All right, K Walk, you get out of there with the win, man. 6-5. It was close, but you got out of there with the win. I wanted E to be on that hot seat for once,
Right?
I see how you guys feel now.
Right.
Because like I didn't know any of mine, but I knew all the ones K Walk got. I'm like, I know that the big hurt. I mean, yeah.
Right?
And then I get some pool player, Black Widow. Man,
I
no,
know, right?
It's the luck of the numbers, man. It's the luck of picking the numbers. For sure.
that was good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
good
I don't have quite the staff that you had, E. So I just got it on a piece of paper. You know, I'm a one man staff here, but yeah, that was good stuff for sure.
That was smart, Jack. Good stuff.
Man, all right, fellas, that was quick. We kind of ran through it all tonight. Before we wrap this thing up, K Walk, man, do you have anything that you want to throw out there? I know we got a couple minutes if there's anything you want to discuss. Otherwise, man, we'll just go ahead and wrap this thing up.
Yeah, Jay, I'll just following your lead on this one. Now, I don't have anything to. Usually, we do our rants and our who's balling segment around this time. So, no, I don't have anything other to discuss, Jay.
All right, cool, man. Well, it's always good to get out a little bit early, especially on a work night. I don't mind shutting it down at all. E. Scott, man, we appreciate you joining us, man. That was great.
Oh, no problem, man. That was a good time.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for joining us. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Sideline Speaks. We'll be back here live next week, Tuesday at 7:00. Britne Jones will be back next week. And we'll see you then. So
catch me and E. Scott tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on Never Had It So Good Radio, guys. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple, it's all that good stuff. My links, I'm just gonna give you my Instagram, Kevin.Walker142, Twitter at KevinWalker142, and Facebook Kevin Walker. The links for our show will be on there tomorrow morning for sure.
Yeah, guys. I mean, definitely check these guys out. They have a great show every Wednesday night. Never Had It So Good Sports Radio. It's just a fun, good sports talk and some other stuff thrown in there. So you'll definitely want to check that out. And again, we are now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. So share this, like it, comment, subscribe, and also check us out on anywhere that you get your podcasts. So for Kevin Walker and E. Scott, I'm Jason Collins. We thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.